Thanks, Lenny. Thanks, Jen. Thanks, Michael. Thanks, y'all. Happy Pride, y'all.
Yeah.
So I'm going to read a few new poems, and I'm going to read a couple poems from my chapbook, 50 Degrees, and then I'm going to close with a short story from How to Whistle. And like you, I also have 2 books that came out last year, so it's a very strange year. But anyway, okay. So I'm going to start with some new stuff. From the Insomniac's Handbook. The vintage postcard says, "The moon must be in clots." And just like that, anything that can go wrong does. There are no emojis to express this heightened level of personal turmoil, just a lullaby constructed from saliva samples, the yawning ritual of bedtime, spasming limbs, stubborn stains, consumed batteries, noisy magazine pages, a stiff neck, dripping faucets, and a scratchy throat. No one ever asks you what it is that keeps you awake until all the networks sign off, and the blue light of the cable box dimly cycles through illumination and darkness. Why bother making a list when the dog has fleas, political scandals flare up like painful pancreatic affliction, and the repetitive business talk tastes like a bowl of congealed word soup? The gorgeous compounds do nothing to alleviate persistent rashes, diverticulitis dreams, and sundry digestive disorders. When you eventually do drift off, know that sleep is merely an abandoned train station, a temporary home to 12-year-old junkie terrorists with a soundtrack provided by the nightly march of palmetto bugs across reflective glass and pillowcases. Not waking, but dreaming, with apologies to Stevie Smith. The dead man never dreams of drowning, of dying alone, or in the company of strangers, surrounded by family, chosen and biological. The dead man sings of home improvement, new lungs, temple upgrades, LASIK surgery, a different reflection, fading horizontal stripes, ultraviolet rays, and skin decorated like a canvas. In order to be heard over the well-intentioned chatter and warm kisses, the dead man competes with gurgling organs, antique ghosts in glowing machines, loudly complaining furniture, insistent mist, abandoned turtle shells, faulty airbags, mysterious crops, the carnivorous call and prehistoric wingspan of perpetually hungry blue herons and burst blood vessels. Reminisce is spelled the same as forget when memory becomes synonymous with treachery and flight. As he watched the fawn emerge from the tall marsh grass, tattooed in ticking, tail-flicking, dancing dangerously close to the man-made edge of the cool pool on reed-thin legs, the dead man knew he was not waking but dreaming of another kind of sleep. When hours are never yours, when they are only shared, borrowed on loan, inevitably returned late, overdue, with unreasonable penalties, exorbitant fines, and no immediate possible means of repayment. Outside in. Kate Bush knew what she was talking about when she sang, "Outside gets inside through her skin." Just ask the mirror while your body, not your friend, never your friend, begins its systematic betrayal. First the eyebrows, formerly arched without plucking or maintenance, now wiry and erratic, capable of injuring innocent victims during unwelcome embraces, potential stunning weapons. Flesh stretched beyond elasticity, uncooperative and mutinous, sets about its shaming mission. People laugh good-naturedly when you tell them that you undress in the dark, but you are serious as a lesion. But really, what does it matter if you can't see your reflection anyway? Fuzzy, cloudy, smeared, muted, lightless, and focusless. If you were a camera, you'd be stored in the back of the bottom drawer of a questionable rusty and creaky file cabinet, along with the dead motor Walkman, the leaky souvenir mug, bent wire hangers, Dusty's ashes, unsent RSVP cards, and corresponding stamped envelopes, an ancient wooden mousetrap, stained overalls, and the slinky that wouldn't. Fill a dollar store toolbox with safety pins and aspirin, pliers and gauze, brightly colored electrical tape and earplugs, a glass bottle of India ink, and the president's hairpiece, tailor's chalk, and expired condoms. Pour yourself a steaming cup of strong, hot herbal tea with a side of sympathy. If we recall, George Michael told us he preferred it outside. And this is another apology poem, Daddy O, with apologies to Sylvia Plath. I cannot sleep, I cannot rest anymore, black sheep. Daddy-o, you outlived your father by 7 years. Did you secretly count the weeks, minutes, the months, hours, scratching off time like numbers on a lottery ticket? The simple elements of the mythology of his death, a glass of 2 cents plain, a Chicago kitchen, a crumpled heart. You inherited the same cursed muscle, torturing it with a reckless diet of fatty foods, tobacco, and too much responsibility, setting aside bongos, 16-inch softball, and unopened dreams for unfulfilling careers in someone else's definition of you. Stock clerk, deli counter meat slicer, candy delivery man, flea market hawker, traveling salesman, champion Little League coach, father. The year I turned the age you died, I patiently waited to stop breathing, embracing darkness, practicing motionless, lowering body temperature, balancing disappointment and delight with each new day and every heartbeat. That doesn't mean I don't expend a ridiculous amount of energy looking over my resigned shoulder, the skin on my hands smoothed by the rub of worry. I blame you, I bless you, I kiss you, I curse you, Daddy-o, I have erased you. So these are 3 poems from my chapbook. The first one's called Postcard from the Mountain. For the price of a first-class stamp, I can tell you that I've fallen in love with a man whose name I don't know. I can tell you about discovering the joys of dormitory living at this late age, what it's like sharing a toilet, a shower, and a sink with people I hardly know, how I lie in a single bed in white jockey shorts, maybe a t-shirt, looking at the makeshift galaxy of glow-in-the-dark stars on the ceiling and consider unrequited love. Surrounded by mountains, a variety of green, birds I'd only seen in an Audubon Society book in the library. There was a fat family of flies choreographing a ballet about spiders, wasps, and beetles in the hallway outside of my room. I would leave the door to my room unlocked, dreaming of the man who smiles at me and sets my knees aflutter, makes me lose my balance in a wave of swooning. If I could wake up next to him at least one morning, our bodies grooved into a position of acquaintance and gratitude. I'm just going to do one more from here. And this is the title poem from the chapbook, 50 Degrees. Before gray chest hairs were plentiful as strangling weeds, erections lasted more than 4 hours without pharmaceuticals or the slightest provocation. Ghosts, portable as cigars and unwieldy as cathedrals, didn't raid the linen closet, worrying the white sheets. Now, the second hand, busy and efficient as a pink pearl eraser, is as unreliable as a thermometer. Temperature and time fluctuate like good and bad cholesterol. Anniversaries and funerals swap guest lists, confuse caterers and revelers alike. Please, no more confessions of addictions, announcements of ailments. My ears and heart can't take the strain. Unwind clocks, switch off power strips, remove batteries, unscrew light bulbs, stop dreaming until further notice. With arms outstretched like a scarecrow scale, weigh the pros and cons like someone accustomed to taking this kind of measurement. And then I'm going to try to read this story really fast. It's the last story in the book. It's really short, and I apologize to people who've heard it a million times. It's called My Mother's Vanity. There was a mascara smear on one of the monogrammed pink hand towels. It was the shape of a child's primitive rendering of a tree, leafless in autumn. You might think, that's a lot of mascara. And it was. What made it worse was that I denied having anything to do with it. Novice liar. Who else could have done it? Did I think my mother was that oblivious? She always made sure to wipe the peach lipstick streaks from the mouthpiece after she hung up the white princess phone. I was the one who regularly forgot to do the same. I'll say this, I knew enough to stay out of her closets, away from her clothes, the bras and panties and girdles and garters, the stockings and tights, the negligees and nightgowns from Schwartz's Intimate Apparel held no interest. Neither did culottes, see-through and opaque blouses in silk, rayon and cotton, colorful pantsuits and jumpsuits, clam diggers, mini, midi or maxi skirts, dresses, plaid or striped slacks, jumpers, cashmere and angora sweaters, pastel shells or pattern shifts, corduroy and denim blazers. Sure, I might slip a barefoot into a stiletto heel, a pump or strappy sandal. She had small feet. We were practically the same size. I avoided the zip-up, wet-look boots in white, black, fire engine red, and sky blue. I worried about getting into something. I worried about stuck zippers. I didn't want to get into something I couldn't get out of quickly. But how could I avoid her vanity? The tortoiseshell comb, the matching onyx hairbrush and hand mirror, the hair clips and pins, the clip-on bows and velvet headbands, my thick pitch black hair, a shimmering reflection of her regularly dyed coif, dark and resilient as black lacquer. Was it my artistic streak that led me to swirl fingers, brushes, other applicators in the powdery terrain of rouge, blush, and eyeshadow? Imagine the eyelid as a canvas, a blank slate beckoning for color and contrast. Eyebrow pencils in their own murky hues, cool and damp eyeliner outlining and emphasizing. Lipstick tubes containing vaguely phallic rockets of tint and shade, iridescent and ethereal or bright and flushed. The waxy warmth caressing and coloring lips, accentuating kisses, puckers, smiles, and frowns. Every lip-printed tissue was stashed and trashed. No wonder they call the device to apply mascara a wand. It contains magical powers, transforming lashes that are too short, too limp, too light, too wispy into sculpture. Even the shyest eyes command attention when lashes are darkened and dramatically drawn out, like living picture frames. The sensation of dipping the bristles into the tube and gently dragging the brush along fine hairs is electrically charged. Next came the masking of the faintly chemical smell of the palate's potions. So many pretty bottles in such distinctive shapes. Tigress and Woodhue by Fabergé, Jean Naté, Estie, Topaz by Avon, Halston and Jovan's musk oil, pulse points, so little goes such a long way. Her jewelry box had a similar effect. How else to complete the process? Bangles and beads, costume jewelry and clip-on earrings, gemstones and rhinestones, pearls and plastic geometric shapes, cocktail rings and chokers, gold and silver-plated baubles, multicolored bubble washes for wrists, chains and strands and timepieces worn as necklaces. Did I feel cute, desirable, seductive, glamorous, new each time, indestructible, older than my single-digit age? You bet I did. That time, the handsome bearded guy at the indoor flea market told me I was pretty enough to be a girl. My father went ashen. I didn't even have a lick of makeup on my face. Maybe I didn't need it after all. Maybe I just needed to stand still and be adored for my natural beauty. Something on which neither my father nor mother could agree. I was the perfect blend of their facial features, skin tones, hair texture, all in miniature. They always looked at me as if they couldn't decide if that worked in my favor or theirs. One day, I got careless, sloppy, reckless. One day was all it took for someone so good at making sure that compacts clicked shut silently, that glass bottles never clinked, that lipstick points never dulled, that eyebrow pencils stayed sharpened and the shavings were properly disposed of, that no speck of powder, no matter how pale, was left behind. I really blew it. Cold cream was involved, soap and water too, foam and rubbing and scrubbing, something stinging in my eye, more warm water. The burning sensation subsided, although the blurred vision persisted, reaching for something terry cloth, soft to dry and comfort, something left behind. I was watching television or reading a book. I was drawing a picture of a face, not mine, or coloring one in a coloring book. I was making paper snowflakes or construction paper links. I was building something with Lego blocks or playing with Matchbox cars when my mother called me into the bathroom and pointed to the monogrammed towel, now monogrammed with something else. I lied, I denied, I cried, I ranted, I recanted, I stomped my feet, I folded my arms, tears fell, snot bubbled, and dripped from my nose. It tasted like perjury. What else could I do that day but destroy the evidence? Piles of Maybelline, CoverGirl, Max Factor, Revlon, Helena Rubinstein, and Yardley products heaped into the center of my parents' king-size bed. Every bottle of perfume poured out as an accelerant. The offending towel ignited by my father's butane lighter and dropped where it could do the most damage. I would use the cinders like coal to enhance my eyes, my best feature, blinking and blazing as the house burned down around me. Thank you.